Shout out Big Steve.
What's up? What's up? Another episode of the Big Brain MMA. I'm your host, full-time gambler Steve, like usual. UFC Vegas 92, Barboza versus Murphy. We are going to attempt to make money gambling on this card, and hopefully with the help of a lot of regionals this week. So nice and early, get it out of the way. Full transparency, not the best card for betting, especially when I have this many options. I'm not going to force things. I'm doing quite well, so I ain't donating nothing back if I can help it. Obviously, we're not going to be too careful. All right, did I make some money last week? Yes, I did. Feels good to say that back-to-back big holes. 6,272 profit for the week. Very nice. Let's go through it, shall we? Started off with the KSW card, one of my favorite organizations with Octagon. Swept Octagon last week, swept KSW this week. Start off with Kimona. She was paying $3.25, $3.15, $3. Anything was good. She won a split decision over Adriana Kreft. But yeah, pretty much unanimous. I had 500 to win 1,100. I had a stupid little parlay of Michal and Patrick, two strikers under 1.5. It was $1.66. And I parlayed it with Rizosek under 1.5, which was also $1.66. Pretty much the same. They both hit quite easy to win $500. Usually I would bet these a bit more, but it's hitting these little markets on hitting the totals on something like KSW on your Bet365 account gets you limited nice and quick. So if you watch my limiting video, I try avoiding, but I still have to play it, for peanuts. So it's over $1,000 there. I played the Ivan Vitasovic, Philips Toari over 1.5 at Pick'em. That was insane value. And then the 2.5 at $2.50, 200 to win 400 there. So I won 1,000 because they both hit, went to decision. I parlayed Stefan Wojciak, and Rizosek, who we spoke about. He won in 14 seconds. So the under and his money line in the parlay hit quite easy. And then Stefan, had won in round one against Ricardo Purcell. Super easy as well. That guy's the biggest bum. The fact that Purcell had a title shot in KSW reflects really bad on KSW. So yeah, nice little sweep. UFC could have done better. Quite sloppy for me on the UFC. I blame waking up at 5 a.m. and just a lot of grinding last couple of weeks. If you put too much work in it and not rest, you're gonna struggle in the day. But anyway, I played a little Veronica Hardy decision. 300 to win 390. Just a little poke because I felt like she could win rounds clear with her more catching shots. I live bet Billy Goff. 750. Rewatching that, I kind of thought he had a chance to win that, but anyway. And then $75 on his submission, which lost. I live bet Tabitha Ricci at $3.20. I was a fan of Tisha but then I got talked out of it with her interview. And then watching her in round one, I thought she was going to gas real bad. A bit lucky on Ricci. I won 1,400 there. But yeah, I don't think it was a bad bet at $3.20 because it did play out like a split decision. Ribovics, I played the under 1.5 last minute, 1,000 to win 500. I wasn't going to, but for some reason people played the over. I lost 100 something on his round two. And I found a stupid line on PointsBet, $1.35 for the under 2.5. That would have been a max bet, but it was just on PointsBet. I had to deposit, and I didn't have 5,000 or whatever it is, 10,000 for a max bet on that account. That was my Bills account. So unfortunately, BetOnline didn't have a line like that. But yeah, they both hit easily, the under 1.5. Ribovic's KO was the best play there. Chase Hooper, I didn't have anything, and then I live bet Borashev like an idiot, threw away $300. I thought he would come back round two, maybe get a knockout. Waldo, the Spain, I played 500 on Rebellis round one, just a little poke on his round one, just in case he's the real, he can knock out anyone like Ngannou. And yeah, that lost, but then I live bet Waldo, 800 to win 500. That pretty much covered me. On Bet365, awful line. And then I saw in another book, he was plus 120, $2.20 after the round. And I quickly tried to bet there, and I got locked out. You can only bet on that book in between rounds, and I was annoyed. And he proceeded to win 2 and 3. So that was a great bet. Shame I missed it. Donated to Alex Caceres. I was annoyed for donating. I thought, in his hometown, I thought he was losing 2-0. And upon rewatch, I kind of feel robbed there. So I would have won $1,000 there. Diego Ferreira and Mateus Rebecki, nothing here. Mine and Chad's parlay hit here that we gave out. Woodson go to distance and this doesn't go. I did say it doesn't go, not under 2.5 rounds. Oldberg, Manifield, nothing there. I kind of regret the under 1.5. Obviously, it was over in 12 seconds. Just put a little $70 on Rozubayev round 1 KO just in case he landed his win path on Buckley. And I regret not live betting Buckley $1.70. And then I had half a unit on Derek Lewis. I said I was going to put a whole unit, and I just forgot. It was a big day, 5 a.m. By the end of the card, I was absolutely cooked. 1,000 to win 772. So all up, I won 1,900, almost 2,000, almost a unit. Same as last week, made most of my profits from the regionals, and I just made sure I didn't lose it. So yeah, could have been a little bit more aggressive in the UFC. Biggest regrets, not going not only one unit, but I reckon Lewis could have been a 2-unit shot. It's scary, watching the way he fights, doing stupid crap grappling when he shouldn't be grappling and getting mounted by Nascimento. Not going big on the under 1.5. There's a lot in the Ribovics, a lot of narrative about him getting grappled, blah, blah, blah. But I think everyone was overthinking it, myself included. Yeah, the golf fly bet, that's about it. Can't really have any regrets on KSW personally. And then I finished the weekend off with Fury. I had $1,000 on Luis Hernandez. It was like $1.70, $1.60. I rebet it to win 750. So beautiful. 6,000, 11,000 for May, and we're back up to 18,000. We're getting really close to getting halfway through my total profit from last year. So not going to get carried away. Just keep at it. Keep at it. Very patient. I'm the best when I don't rush anything, when I would rather pass than have FOMO. So that's where we are now. We'll see if we can make some big profit. And I'll put out some regional shows as well this week. That's why I'm doing this early. P.S. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for Verzasek and Wojciech parlay. No worries, sir. I do hope to put out more winning bets on Twitter. I'm trying my best. I do try to help people out. I've been approached by a bloody dub club constantly to keep wanting me to sell my picks for some reason and saying it's going to be amazing for me, but that's not the point. It's not really what I want to do. I'll try to give out more Twitter picks. Yitzen, what do you think about Pepe's news leaking on Twitter? I would love to see him. Danny P, Ferreira plus 400, favorite bet of the year. Very nice, my friend. Very nice. I do still tend to think that the live bet was better, but even the live bet, live bet was amazing last week, right? Acosta, Ricci, say what you will, but she was still, plus, she was $3.20. Johnson, like usual. Lewis was picking right before he got the knockout. Caceres was picking. That's one of my regrets. I didn't realize that he was picking after round 2. I thought the line would be juiced because I thought it was 2-0 up. What's his name? Buckley was great. Yeah, a lot of amazing live lines last week. Alrighty. David L, thanks for listening. SE for all. Lock in. That's it, sir. Haven't seen you in a while. Shout out, gang. Alrighty, let's get started with this horrible card, right? Emily Ducote, Vanessa Demopoulos, no interest. Let's move on. It's a dog pass for me. Emily Ducote is more technical. She's a black belt. She shouldn't get submitted. She's good everywhere. She's just undersized, and she's lost before by getting out-muscled and, out-dogged, which Vanessa is a dog. That's her best chance here. She throws hard. So anything's possible. 20-something% for Demopoulos. That's a little bit crazy. Call me crazy. So, yeah, I'm not rushing to tape or parlay Dakota or anything like that. So dog pass or maybe the under. The under is wild. Insane numbers. Demopoulos has killed someone with one punch. She submitted girls before. Dakota has knocked out a bunch of girls before. So you never know, man. Never know. These are wild unders. Alrighty, let's move on. Haile Alatang versus Clayton Rodriguez. Probably one of the more normal fights on the card. It's just not like a female fight or some juiced fight. Decent odds. 2 decent guys for the division. Says I lost some audio. Let me know if you can't hear me. Or if you can hear me. Yeah, flip-flopping, I feel like it's a dog or pass. Just because I still have questions about Clayton. I haven't really seen much about him. I watched these 2 fights again. These 2 decisions against Kuratolo and CJ Vergara, even though I've avoided him and I've watched him a billion times, but it's the only times he goes to decision, so you kind of have to watch him. And yeah, he's extremely explosive, lots of kicks, lots of knees, good stuff. He can be taken down. He got taken down by Kuratolo, who's tiny, and now he's fighting a really decent wrestler. The only issue is Alatang never wrestles and never throws, and he's got power. So I think early Clayton can kick the absolute crap out of him. Alating is really bad at handling kicks. We saw Casey Kenny treat him like a punching bag. We saw Gutierrez treat him like a punching bag. He's a good boxer, but when you keep him at kicking range, you can't really handle it. So I think early Clayton is going to be extremely explosive. He will have his way with him, but I can't play his minus money. I still have questions about his decision equity. I think he's got that Brazilian IQ in him. He did really well stuffing the first Farid Basharat takedown. He exploded out of mount. Then after that, as soon as he got taken down with a single, it just fell apart. It was blowing, and he tried a really ill-advised back take as well. So I don't know. This fight is like a shit show where two dipshits, bad IQ. I don't know, but yeah. If anything, I would play Rodriguez and hopefully get out live on Alateng. But who knows what could happen? Maybe Alateng cracks him early. All right, let's move on. Also, the under here, right? The under. We have, again, massive numbers in the under 2.5. I get that Alateng is extremely durable, but I don't think Clayton is. And, the over 2.5, worse than minus 200. And, Clayton hits extremely hard. We don't know how hard he actually hits a bantamweight. So it could be one of those Pereira situations. And Alateng has been knocked out. Kai Sakura knocked him out in 30 seconds. He's been knocked out a bunch in the regionals, which is strange because in the UFC he seems extremely, extremely durable. But yeah, the under, and I'm just going to lie about it. Danny UFC, I'm on Alateng plus 150. Don't get how Clayton is minus 200, one awful win. Volume, the only concern. Yeah, definitely. I feel like Clayton's going to be kicking the shit out of him early. That's a good line, though. Obviously, it's coming a lot. Now it kind of feels accurate. Pierre Rodriguez, Ariane Carnelosi. Another dog will pass for me. I know, some people really like Pierre at minus money, and others are saying that they wish they put more. And I don't know how you can be interested. It's not for me. I guess different style of betting. I get, Ariane has her issues. She's been dropped by Niall Young and reversed a bunch, and she got manhandled by Angela Hill, which is, whatever. It's a levels fight. She didn't KO Catelyn Souza, who's in the UFC currently doing well. She submitted Estela Nunes. Not bad. I think Estela Nunes is better than Pierre Rodriguez. Don't come at me. And getting mauled by Lupita Godinez, she got injured there. I'm not sure exactly what round, but she got hurt. She got mauled, thrown around. I think she's quite small, even though she's really jacked. In terms of how she looked compared to Lupi, the physicality advantage was massively different there. So I think she's a small girl, too much muscle, and just the stature is not ideal. Piera Rodriguez, on the other hand, she is quite physical, but she's been winning these minus EV decisions. I tried to fade her against Machado. Machado was a huge dog. She won there. I tried to fade her against Kay Hansen. She won a 29-28. It looked like she was going to get grappled, and she started grappling Kay herself. Sam Hughes, I faded her there as well. I still think Sam won that 2-1. But yeah, she grappled Sam Hughes a lot there, which doesn't mean much because Sam's awful takedown defense. And then finally, when she finally lost the pick 'em to Gillian Robertson, I wasn't on it, and I just hated myself. So yeah, I mean, she's extremely, extremely minus EV, so there's no way I can play minus 200, and I couldn't play the even better line. If anything, it's accurate, but I mean, it's going to be a decision. 29-28. Do I see her winning a 30-27 against Ariane? Not really. Ariane is 31. She had 2 years off. USADA's gone away. Right? I'm not really a believer in USADA, but I mean, the more I'm seeing these Brazilians, the more I'm starting to maybe believe there could be something going on. But yeah, I mean, dog or pass. I looked into it a bit. I looked at all Ariane fights. I get it. She's got a lot of holes, but her fight with Angela Hill was competitive and before the cut, and her Lupita Godinez fight wasn't competitive, but Piera's a different type of fighter. So yeah, dog or pass. Maybe I come around if the line keeps getting steamed. Abus Magomedov versus Wally Alves. The battle of front runners. Quite an interesting fight. I taped this before the lines came out, and I had my eye on the under 1.5. Obviously, both these dudes kill and have been killed in under 1.5. Wally constantly, Randy Brown, then kills Lazez, then gets killed by Wells, then kills Ikram. Obviously, he doesn't kill Darby, and Darby doesn't kill him. It's probably the worst fight for unders, a guy with no power and a durable dude. But yeah, I think the under was a similar price against Ikram, and I overthunk it, and I didn't play it, so I regret it there. But now I don't know how I feel about it. $1.74. It's I thought it would be minus money, and I thought I'd be playing it, but now that line's come out, I'm kind of not interested. I'm not interested because I don't know what Wiley's like. I don't think Wiley's incredibly undurable, but then I also think he is. Kraus knocked him out. Randy Brown submitted him. I think he's live to get submitted and KO'd. Abus has a really good guillotine. They both do. Abus hits like an absolute truck. His KO of Dustin Stolfutz. Yeah, Stolfutz is hittable, but if you look into his tape, he does have quite a good chin. So the way he sparked him was quite impressive. He's done the same to Strickland early. Strickland quite durable. And then Kaio, he couldn't really land anything on Kaio. That guy's extremely negative. But he did seem to hate the punches coming back from Kaio. So I do think he's extremely flaky. We've seen him knocked out cold in that weird punch from Lewis Taylor as well. So I guess the under is something I'm interested in here. It correlates with the boost because he's a big minus favorite. A lot of people playing Wally. I'll be honest, I'm coming around to it a bit. I think it doesn't feel like my kind of play, but yeah, I'm kind of coming around to it. We'll see how he looks on the scales. He looked quite big against Ikram. But yeah, the under here, and maybe Alves at huge dog odds, right? It covers because he can get a quick finish himself as well. And I think he has, in a weird way, I think he has better cardio than Abus, which is nuts to say, but yeah. He did well against Dalby. I actually played him against Dalby. Lou Betcher, under 2.5 rounds at minus 185 isn't horrible either. Is it really lying there? I don't think it's lying there. No way. No, it's definitely not. Not on Bet365. It's a bit steamed. $1.38, which is like minus 2 something. What is that line, Lou? Probably one of your American bookies. Miles, facts. These Brazilians looking crazy lately. Indeed they are. Not that Ariani never looked crazy before. Kind of like Wally 3-2 if he can get there. Live bet maybe. Yeah, I'm the same. Maybe I do a quarter unit on Alves and just leave it at that. But you just never know how he's going to come out. Tamiris Vidal versus Melissa Gatto. What is there to say about this fight? It should be a levels fight for Melissa Gatto. Vidal really pushes the grappling pace. And I mean, so does Gatto. And I don't think she can win that fight against Gatto. She was a blue belt like 3 years ago. She always goes for heel hooks. Again, I don't think that's going to work on Gatto. She might get a takedown, but I think this could be a level fight where Gatto actually gets a sub from her guard. I mean, trying to sub Sijera Eubanks, who was like never finished up until she got body kicked by Gatto, and Tracy Cortez, who I think has elite submission defense, and Lipsky, who she couldn't take down, and now going to Vidal. I think maybe we can get a good inside the distance line. But who knows, Vidal? She's 25, man. 25. Maybe she's improving. She looked quite good when she landed that switch knee against Ramona Pascal, but then she looked like trash against Rendon. So yeah. Gatto, maybe you can put her in parlays. I'm never advocating. What's the line? It's not the worst parlay piece. I'll leave it at that. But who knows? I think Gatto's moving up as well, right? So, yeah. That's probably going to be better for her. She's huge. Alrighty. Umar C versus Tuco Tokos. Quite annoying that I spend so much time retaping C and Tokoli. But yeah, Umar C, he's just going to grapple. He's quite underwhelming. He'll get the back. Not the best rear naked choke. Tuco, I know him, he's a bit bummy. But he grapples himself. I thought he was more of a striker. But he took down Myron Dennis. That's why he hurt his arm. He took down Ty Flores, who I thought was going to wrestle him until he got knocked out. He was trying to take Ty Guida down in Bellator. So I don't really understand this guy's game. He's got a lot of power, but he grapples. So yeah, I got to look into it some more. Obviously, C is going to be even bigger, gigantic favorite. So yeah, I mean, maybe some overs. The over was steamed in the Chocoli fight, so I don't know. I've looked into the fight, but I have a feeling all the odds are going to be bum city. Danny P, new weight class for Gatto? Yes, bantamweight. I don't think it's her first time at bantamweight. I think she was bantamweight on the regionals. That's why she looks so jacked now. She got in some good shape. Let me see. Yeah, she submitted Rosa at bantamweight. And Rocha was definitely, I think, bantamweight because that's a big girl. Yeah, she was a bantamweight before, so nothing new. I think she's 28. She's grown into a body. So I had some Tricoli. Look, I'll be honest. I was contemplating it. I think Tricoli was only a massive underdog because of his takedown defense. Clear gaping hole, considering C was going to wrestle. But yeah, I mean, if you can look at in from a value perspective, I think Tricoli was going to have some value, especially with no Osada. Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez. All right, Tom Nolan comes back after getting absolutely destroyed by Mota. That was the first time I put out a YouTube short, giving out a bet. I wish I could do some more. Did back-to-back wins with Jimmy Flick the week after. I just haven't had a bet that I was really passionate about, making a video about and giving to the public. That looked like massive value. Both could get killed. Mota hits a lot harder than Martinez. I think Martinez is a bit of a weenie. Obviously, everyone's going to mention that he got knocked out by Jordan Levitt. It can't be ignored. It happened. And yeah, I do think Nolan's still a beast, just from physicality and size advantages, at least. Like he's 6'3". I know a lot of people think he cuts a lot of weight. He actually doesn't. I think he's going to grow into his body. He'll be even better. But yeah, there's got a lot of skills to work on. I did mention for the motor fight that he's a bit green, so I wouldn't really lay the juice. And I know a lot of people got destroyed parlaying him, but this is probably a safer time to parlay him, really. You really should run through Victor Martinez. The UFC knows what they're doing. The minus 200 under 1.5, I'm not as passionate about it because I think Mota, there was two-way finishing upside last time on Mota and Nolan. Mota was chinny. On this side, it's mostly just, Martinez being chinny, and he's good with his combinations, but and he can definitely land that right hand on Nolan. That's a big issue for him, but we'll see. Nolan might come out patient as well, but if he does, he's got that teep. He fights very long, so when he chooses to. If you watch closely, I have a feeling that Jordan Levitt actually hurt Martinez with a teep to the gut, and then he backed up to the fence, and then he got knocked out. Have a look again. Let me know what you think. But yeah, Nolan inside the distance, yeah, I wouldn't overthink it personally. Might have to be a square boy on that fight. Angela Hill, Luana Pinheiro, another competitive, good fight with ranked women as opposed to some of the other rubbish. Angela Hill, slight favorite. Luana Pinheiro, slight dog. I was really close on Angela Hill here. She's very reliable. There's a ton of tape on her in UFC. You know exactly what she's going to do. She's durable. She fights well. I bet her as an underdog against Denise Gomez. She has good vet savvy about her. But the reason I had a little bit of cold feet by the end of that fight, and line moved the other way against me after a certain time, people playing Gomez is because she's quite hittable and she gives up moments, right? Mackenzie Dern beat the crap out of her. And we all thought Mackenzie Dern was going to be this beast after that. But, after that, Mackenzie hasn't really covered herself in light. And even against Denise Gomez, who's extremely green and has nothing really other than power, really bad wrestling, only a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, she still got Hill down and had her back and started going for an armbar that made me sweat a little bit. Obviously, I know Angela Hill has elite submission defense. Didn't used to be like that back in the day when she got submitted by Ronda Marcos, but there's a lot of improvement now. She was on the ground with Dern. She was on the ground with Verna Jandiroba. I like her submission defense now. But yeah, she's still giving up these moments, right? And that's because she comes out extremely aggressive. Her style is aggressive. Most of her damage is in the clinch, just beautiful elbows and knees. And my issue is, as soon as anyone clinches up with Luana Pinheiro, they go for a ride. They go flying, especially when she's fresh. She's a really high-level judoka. We've seen even Amanda Ribas, who's a black belt in judo, in round 3. She grabbed Pinheiro for a split second, and she went for a ride. She got judo tossed twice, and then she ended up on her back. And it was like, that was Pinheiro's worst round. Her worst round is always round 3. And because Ribas chose to grapple, she was giving her minutes, right? So the thing is, if Angela's heel stays on the outside, she gives up a few moments to Pinheiro, maybe gets dropped like she always does. She does have an iron chin, but she still gives up moments, and then if she tries to grapple, she even grappled all round 2 against Mackenzie Dern, and she won that round, but she's extremely confident in her clinching and her physicality. So, I was really close to playing Hill. Maybe I still do. It's quite close. But yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it when I have this feeling that maybe round 1 she loses quite high clip, and then how is she going to separate from Pinheiro if most of the damage comes in the clinch? She does have a good overhand right, but yeah, Pinheiro's also going to throw, and Pinheiro's a big weasel when it comes to stealing rounds with big shots. We've seen her losing like 10 minutes to Waterson, and then a couple of knockdowns, and They give her round 1 and round 2. So yeah, Angela Hill needs to fight like Rebus, but I just don't think she has the power or the variety of strikes like Amanda Hebus. So yeah, it feels kind of accurate now. It feels kind of accurate. I'm going to look for Angela Hill live, or if I have to force something, I'm going to do Angela Hill round 3 or decision. I don't think she's going to finish Pinera, but do round 3 or decision just in case something happens in round 3. Although it's still going to be plus money, I'm pretty sure. All right, what do we got? Did they let Nolan back into the country after last fight? I would say so, sir. I would say so. You underestimate Australia. No one watches. Volkanovski and Whitaker barely get any crap here and any coverage in Australia. No one really gives a crap about MMA. So probably no one even knew that Nolan lost, to be honest. But they'll know when he wins a knockout. There'll be some highlights. Minus money in 40-year-old Hill. No thanks, indeed. But people are saying the same thing about Gomez. But yeah, Pinera definitely doesn't have the same holes as Gomez that Hill can exploit here. I think it's going to be competitive early. How much upside does Hill really have to look insane value here? Exactly. At minus money, I don't know how much. But who knows? Hill is good because she comes out brawling. And, she gives big moments to these girls. For example, like Lemos, she got dropped. And because she did that and she got straight in her face in round 1, that gassed Lemos out. Right? Hopefully, if she fights like that against Luana Pinera, Luana Pinera is not conserving her cardio. So that's definitely going to be a live bet. That's when Angela Hill can look value. All right, let's move on. I spoke a lot about that fight because it's a fight that I'm contemplating a bet. So no point wasting time on other fights. Adrian Yanez versus Vinicius Salvador. Yeah, a bit of a shit show fight. I know my friend parlayed Gatto and Yanez, and he's really not a parlay guy. And I mean, really, maybe one every 4 months. So he's either confident or, he feels like these are the safest pieces in ages. I get it. It's dropped down for Yanez in terms of level, but I mean, I don't think he's even that good. I played him against Martinez. I really thought he would do what Aldo was going to do. Guess not. Guess he's not kind of vulnerable to kicks. But yeah. I mean, I taped a few fights. I actually taped all of Salvador fights. He's not bad. His hands are low. He's a good pull counterer. He looked huge against CJ Vergara, so I think moving up in weight is not going to be the biggest issue here. Yanez should win. I think he will be eating some of those big bombs from Salvador, but I just think the fact that he's got a jab and he's got cleaner, sharper strikes might pull him away on the judges' scorecards. Salvador's probably going to be a bit better at bantamweight. I mean, he's obviously moving up because he's struggling with the weight. But yeah, I mean, Yanez at this price in a striking fight against the guy that will swing, don't know how I feel about it. The under minus 200 for the 2.5, striking fight. Yanez has gone way too close to decision a few times. Salvador can crack. To be fair to him, two of the most durable dudes back-to-back in Victor Altamirano and CJ Vergara, so the fact that he could knock him out is not the biggest issue. A lot of knockouts on his record otherwise. I also thought he was a bit chinny too. Knocked out by João Fio, that was ground and pound. Efrain Calora knocked him out. Who knows? A lot of these guys tape his regional when he was a lot younger. He's 27 now. So it seems like a fight that I might just have to move on from. Not spend too much time. Alrighty. You know what time it is? It's Steve's one bet time. Ramiz Brahimaj, Themba Garimbo. Right, Ramiz took a bit of a layoff, and now he's coming back. I think he had a couple of injuries. He actually had fights booked relatively soon, twice, after his last win in 2022. And then he got a serious... He pulled out, or his opponent pulled out, one or the other. And then he had a serious injury, and if you're curious why he's been out, that's why. But he's 31. He's in his prime. I like him. I like his... back when he came to the UFC, 2022, 21... that's when I love these kind of fighters, really obvious fighters. He's gonna take you down, he's gonna submit you in round 1, and then submission round 1 will still be a good price. Back when the bookies were a lot easier to beat, And I like him. He's got his faults. If he gets extended, he's gonna slow down. He only won one fight out of 1.5 rounds, and I think he got a submission like 10 seconds after 1.5 rounds. So essentially, I played the under 1.5 because of that. I was going to wait, but I went some of the boys steamed Brahimaj. I think Pepe and some of the other boys, some of the other sharps. I was like, yeah, there's no way this under 1.5 is going to hold, because people are going to catch on that the under 1.5 pretty much correlates with Brahimaj money line. And his sub came out today, and it's plus 160, and that's pretty much what I got his under 1.5 at. So, yeah, not an overly confident bet. I don't even have half a unit on it. I just have it to win half a unit, mostly because, bet online limits and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I have. I do feel like Grimbo's a bit of a fraud. His time is coming. What we have to do is watch him get submitted by AJ Fletcher, and AJ Fletcher showed to not have the best grappling defensively. I do think Grimbo's a bit chinny as well. I think his fight with Sato was back and forth, but luckily he's got a bit more dog about him. Yeah, if you're going to bet Grimbo, I would have said bet him live, although now the line has come in so much. I know people are they're pivoting and jumping on the Grimbo side. So I don't know, maybe Grimbo has value now, but I still personally think that Brahimaj, in terms of grappling and submission, is levels compared to Grimbo. So I don't know what Grimbo's going to do here. He seems to have improved striking. The reason I'm not in love with the under 1.5 from both sides is the same reason I passed against Pete Rodriguez. I thought Pete Rodriguez had all the finishing upside, and Grimbo, you watch his fight against Sato, you watch his fight against AJ Fletcher and against Julio Rodriguez. He's not really potent with his subs. He gets the back a lot. But then he dropped Sato, and then he knocked out Pete Rodriguez. He proved me wrong. So maybe he's got some power now. Maybe something's changed. Brahimaj was dropped by Court McGee, although he's never been finished properly. Even Max Griffin, injury to the ear. So that's why I don't like the under 1.5 from both sides. But you never know. Maybe Grimbo knocks him out. Maybe he's the first person to properly do it. But yeah, now at this current line, I don't like anything. Maybe Ramirez round 1 sub for the culture, right? Or maybe round 1 and 2. That's got to be better than his normal sub. So if anyone can get on bet online, let me know what that is. But yeah, pass and then live bet Grimbo, because I do think he has the better cardio. But who knows? I have these Albanians have been good to me. Obviously in Octagon a lot, and can't remember where else I bet an Albanian, but they've been good to me, and I just have this feeling like Brahimaj is gonna come out after the layoff and be a bit better than we expect. Obviously, the public agrees. The line's absolutely steamed. What do we got? Let's check the comments. Danny P. Think Yana's fight goes to decision. Am I mad? Pretty wide line. No, I don't think you are. It makes complete sense to me. I can see a competitive striking fight. Except the only thing is it's going to be wild in the pocket. Salvador's going to be throwing those haymakers, and Yanez going to be intercepting him with combinations. And once Yanez lands 1 or 2, he just swarms. So I remember last time I played the over in Yanez fight, it was the Kelly fight. It looked horrible. Danny P. Brahimaj so bad on the feet. Kwon McGee pieced him up and dropped him. Agree, he has the grappling upside. I don't know if he's bad. He's actually, when he strikes patiently, he's decent. It's just when it comes out too hard, he gasses out, and then his defense and everything goes out the window. Kwon McGee has underrated power. Kwon McGee pretty much just dropped him once, and then he just grappled him for the rest. Lubecha. Grimbo now has the power of the Rock. I guess that's what it is. That was the missing piece of the puzzle. Chaos Williams, Carlson Harris. Yeah, interesting fight. Probably the best fight on the card other than the main event. I feel like these guys are quite well matched. They're probably similar in the rankings. They've beaten good level guys. They've lost to top of the top. They both have similarities. I think both these guys on the eye have dreadful striking. Chaos Williams blitzes like a robot with his chin up in the air, gets countered a ton. And when he's planting and countering, he gets countered a ton. He is blessed with an iron chin there. And in terms of Carlson Harris, I mean, same thing. Chin's up when he's countering. He's slapping his punches. He's flailing. But both are blessed with power. I think Carlson just kind of throws everything as hard as he can, and he's got that whip, the power of the whip in him. A whip, as they say. And, he's got the grappling. He'll grapple. He's not the best grappler. A lot of cage push. I think Chaos can probably stuff it. Not many people trying to grapple Chaos Williams proactively. Michelle Pereira took him down in round 3 twice. But yeah, I do feel like Carlson now has some issues with the chin. He's quite hittable. Chaos, he's got power. But I do think Carlson has a better overall game for 3 rounds. I think his cardio is underrated. He's hurt a bunch of people. He's hurt Aguilera. He's hurt a knocked out Impa, which, aged wonderfully. He's hurt Jared Gooden, but then he couldn't finish him, and he was throwing absolute bombs at Jared Gooden. So, yeah, I bet Jeremiah Wells against him. I thought Wells had finishing upside and grappling upside and looked good until he didn't. So I don't know what to make of this fight. It feels like it should be pick him, and I don't really have a strong read, so I don't want to waste too much time about it. The thing that's kind of close to getting my money is the over, right? The over, I think obviously a lot of people think Karis Williams can knock him out. Harris can hurt him and submit him. But yeah, I think with the durability of Karis Williams, I think Harris's durability is a little bit underrated, even though he's quite hittable. I think the over could be good. 2.5 rounds plus 130. Yeah, not bad. I think the under is definitely, there's no value, or it's accurate at best. It reminds me, I fell for the trap of playing the under. It was a similar price against Jared Gooden, and Harris couldn't submit him. I don't think Harris has really good submissions, a rear naked choke or an armbar, other than front headlock series. So we'll see. 3 out of 3 takedowns for Pereira versus Williams. Don't think anyone else tried. Yeah, correct. Pereira also had really explosive doubles, which Harris just kind of gets you up against the cage and just holds you there. And I think the physicality of Williams will make him struggle. Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. Great fight. At least we get to finish this crappy card on a banger. Yeah, and I'm really happy about Lerone Murphy having a main event against a ranked guy, because I did say that I really hate featherweight and everyone looks trash and there's remotely no one close to fighting Topuria other than potentially, Ivlev, but because he's the one guy that hasn't lost and he just keeps beating contenders. But, other than Brito and Murphy and Lopez, that's what I mentioned. And now it looks like, Brito has kind of bought himself a case. They should hurry up and give him Dan Ige. Because if he can beat Dan Ige, then you can give yourself a potential title challenger. And obviously Lopez is working his way. And Lerone Murphy, if he has a finish over Edson Barboza, he has a stake, for a high-ranking fight. Otherwise, from a betting perspective, my friend told me to look into this last week. I was cramming like crazy with KSW. I looked into it. I didn't really get the best read. I will say it feels accurate. I had no idea what he was. I think he was telling me to look into it because of Barboza, and I get it. And I'm starting to see some people around play Barboza now, because Lerone Murphy will give you that kind of fight. He is a technical striker more so than anything. And he does have his holes. He was dropped by Zabara. More so than not, he's getting taken down a lot. I bet Gabriel Santos. I like Gabriel Santos. And, I thought I got robbed there. But he still won, and he won, and there was a lot of grappling there. And it's just, there's a lot of grappling in the Amirkhani fight, and there's a bunch of grappling in the Douglas De Silva de Andrade, and he got his back taken there, and he still wins, right? He still wins. I don't think we're going to see any of that from Barboza. But even then, there's value on Barboza, right? Because anyone that stands at distance with Barboza, no matter how washed he is, he's still going to light him up, right? He did it to Shane Burgos. He didn't do it to Giga, but he was extremely competitive. And I was lining up a live bet on Barboza after that round too. Unfortunately, Giga knocked him out. I think he got away with that one. Obviously, Bryce Mitchell dropped him, but I think he just caught him off guard. And yeah, Billy Quarantillo, absolute bum. And Sadiq Yusuf, when he couldn't get him out of there early, he was just getting lit up on the outside. But I think Sadiq Yusuf's a bum. That's why I faded him against Lopez at minus money. I think it's hard to play Murphy at this line just because he has issues. Like I mentioned, a lot of these fights he has to make an adjustment. But there's something about Murphy. I don't want to say that A word. There's something about him, but he just says he has a way about winning. He makes adjustments. He can switch stances. When he's losing, he changes it up. He grapples when he needs to grapple. Obviously, he can grapple here against Edson. He needs to be careful when he does it. And yeah, he has something about him that makes me feel like he's always going to win. Right? He feels special to me. Not special like he's amazing, but he's powerful. He's extremely tough. He's smart, and he's well-rounded. So yeah, it feels accurate. I feel like after one round where Barboza's kind of kicking him, we can get some good live bets. This is like a back-and-forth live bet fight. I feel like it could go long. But if anything, the only thing that stuck out to me here was the under. The under, it was 4.5 rounds before, plus money on BetOnline. Now it's 3.5. So yeah, plus money. I mean, I do think that Lerone is patient, but he does hit hard. And I mean, I think he has more power than Sadiq Yusuf, personally. So yeah, maybe the under, but I have to look into it. I can see a lot of grappling. I can see a lot of patient exchanges. How much punishment can Lerone Murphy take? I mean, Santos was kind of cracking him. He didn't really react. He got dropped by Tahugov, who hits quite hard, and he just got up straight away. So I'm inclined to believe that Lerone Murphy is quite durable. So yeah, tough fight. Not a tough fight. It feels accurate. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Danny P. Post USADA Brazilians, the best plus EU angle. I get it. But then again, Barboza last time against Yusuf, who's chinny and who's flaky, he was a much bigger underdog. And now he's a worse underdog against the better fighter. So I'm just kind of not interested. Live bet it, no need to force, as I mentioned. The month is gone great. It's actually gone. May was one of my best months last year, and it was only 6 units. And I'm already on like 10 units after 2 weeks. So I ain't trying to mess it up with stupid bets. So let's go through it. Vanessa, Ducote, Dogger Pass, Alatang, Rodriguez. I guess Dogger Pass, but I feel like Rodriguez is going to start out strong. Canalosi, Dogger Pass. Valia Boost, Dogger Pass, or the under 1.5. Gato, whatever. She should win easily. Maybe inside the distance. C Tokos, no strong opinion. Maybe going to have to look at totals there. Nolan, yeah, he's going to run through them. Hill, Pinero, yeah. It's either Hill by decision or maybe a live bet it. Yanez, Salvador, no takes. Brahimaj, I played the under 1.5 at plus 160. It's correlated with Brahimaj. I reckon Brahimaj 1 or 2 sub. System play, you have to play it. Chaos Harris, can't get a read. Seems like a competitive, accurately lined fight, considering the overs. And Barboza Murphy, again, seems like an accurate fight. I'd rather play Murphy, to be honest, but I think I'll get a better live line. Alrighty, that's it. A lot of regionals. 42 minutes. It's good to not have a guest and to be able to plow through it like I want. Next week, there's no UFC, but I will be doing a Cage Warriors breakdown. There's no break weeks here for the big brain experience. I will have a guest for Road to UFC, my boy Pierce. I'll try to have him on. I got a busy week, but we'll see what we can do. And yeah, I was going to do another regionals, but if I'm doing a whole Road to UFC card, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how much time I have. But yeah, only one bet from Ramiz Brahimaj. And yeah, you can make some parlays from what I said. Alrighty, peace out. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment on this dreadful card. Keep the algorithm going. And yeah, peace out.